I can't believe I'm finally saying this, but my inventory system is finally up and running. Hey friends, welcome back to Lori's Boston Found, where thrifted is the new black. My name is Lori. I am a full-time reseller on Poshmark and on eBay. It brings me great joy to finally share with you, drum roll please, my inventory system. If there's ever been a topic that I have dodged or procrastinated on or avoided, it has been getting my inventory in order. If you've been following me for a long time, you know that this has been a long time struggle for me. I started off one way and I grew my business to almost 1,300 pieces in my inventory and never changed my system until recently. I still have some work to do. I just want to say that right up front. I'm still working out some kinks, but today I want to share with you where I'm at with my inventory system in hopes that it can help you. If that sounds good to you, stick around. If you like reseller content and you're enjoying yourself at any time in this video, please hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing if you want to check out more of my content. I release about 2 videos a week. A lot of what sold videos. Actually, I haven't done what sold in a while. A lot of haul videos, a lot of tips and tricks around selling on Poshmark and on eBay. Let's get right into the video. What I'm gonna do today is I'm going to share with you what I used to do for a system and kind of the downside of that and what I'm doing right now and some of the pros and cons to my new system. I've only been doing this for about a solid month. I'm definitely still working out some kinks and I will probably do a follow-up video or at least just sprinkle it in with my other content to let you know how things are going with my new system. So first up, let's talk about what type of system I have had in place since I started reselling in the summer of 2018. For those of you who are just getting started, or maybe those of you who are even further along your journey with reselling, you might be able to relate to the way that I used to do things with my inventory. When I first started, I had 2 bins, 2 rubber tote, Rubbermaid bins or whatever that I kept upstairs because I only had like 10, 15, 20 items. And then it grew a little bit to 30, 40 items. So I may have added a few bins and stacked them up. So I had a bin that might have just had my shirts and sweaters, and then a bin that had like jeans and pants, and maybe a separate bin for outerwear and shoes. Who knows? It started like that. And as I grew my business, I stayed with that system where I put my items in bins according to category. I had bins for sweatshirts, for blouses, for button-down shirts. The more my business grew, the more detailed I got with what was in the bin. However, I was still categorizing it by item. I did not attach any SKU number to the item, and when it came time to pull something, I would have to go through, for example, I had 8 bins of tops. And so if I sold a top or a blouse or a long sleeve shirt, I had to go through 8 bins in order to find that shirt. As I moved on in my journey, I even started to categorize it by color. I would start on the left of my bins and I would put like white, tan, and light gray in one bin, and then yellow and orange in another bin, red and pink, green and blue, purple, black, brown. You get the idea. And that helped me a little bit, but I was just putting off really putting a big girl inventory system in place. So fast forward, my good friend Hope from Rags to Riches Resale started doing a system using ToteScan. This is not a sponsored video. This is just the system that I'm using. And ToteScan is a QR code system. You get 45 of these peel off stickers and you put these on your individual bins. Then you download the app and you're able to organize your inventory system accordingly. This doesn't just work for inventory systems. If you want to organize your attic or your garage, or if you're moving and you want to put all your dishes in one box, you slap on a sticker, you scan it with your phone, with the app, and then you log what's inside that box. So that's a system that I implemented, and I ended up having to get 2 packs of these. These are just $10 a pack on Amazon, and I will definitely link all of the supplies that I used today in my description in case you want to try it out. But they come in packages of 45 labels, so there's 5 sheets per package. In addition to using the ToteScan, I ordered these letters and number like mailbox stickers through Amazon, so that in addition to the ToteScan label, each of my bins would have a letter or number combination attached to it. Not all of my storage systems were bins that I could stick a label to, so I got these little name badges, and gosh, I wish I could remember the name of the person who shared this idea. If I find her YouTube channel, I will link it below, but it was one of the first videos I researched when I was looking at ToteScan, and these are name badges that she suggested you get, and then you don't have to peel the sticker off if you're not sure about where it's going. You can just slide it in this badge, and then you can put it in various places before you peel and stick. So I have some areas in my basement that I'll show you that don't have a spot that I can actually stick something on, so I use that method for organizing that. One of the questions that people do ask me a lot regarding the ToteScan system is, once all of your information is in the app, do you also attach a SKU number to the item on your listing? And this is where I am tweaking my system as I go, because as of right now, no, I don't have any SKU number attached to my item within my listing. When I go pull my inventory, I just take my phone with me, and then I get all of my inventory that way. All right, I thought it would be kind of fun to just share with you, before I get into great detail, just a little reel that I did over on Instagram with my QR system. Some of you may have already seen this, but I'm just going to play this really quick. It's just a snapshot. And then I'm going to show you some before footage of my basement. Then I'll do a detailed walk through the ToteScan, and then I will finish with what my basement looks like now. All right, I'm not very good at reels, so bear with me. Wait a second. Where's my volume?
The ToteScan QR system can bring your home inventory to the next level. First, download the app, peel off the sticker, and attach it to the bin of your choice. Scan the QR code, choose your bin location. You can also customize this for various places in your home. Snap a picture of what you're adding to the tote and add a quick description so that you can find it at a later time. And that's it. Repeat this over and over with all of the items in your bins, and you have a phenomenal system in place.
All right, so that's it. That's my 30-second version of the ToteScan system. All right, now let's jump back in time and see what my inventory used to look like. I did record some footage of what my basement looked like when I started this process, so I will share that with you, and then I will show you how things are looking right now. All right, I am filming this video 100% for the purpose of a before clip. I am planning on getting a tower over here. I'm moving this desk over here. I'm getting all this stuff off the floor, and all of these shoes will be put in the USPS shoe boxes and stored in that unit over there. Many of these items are listed, but I have to get them put away. Under all this mess is where I keep my ankle boots. It's a mess. All of these items are listed over here. They're going to get an inventory tag. These are the new shelving units that I got in all of my new bins. There's Jay's antique pinball machine with listed inventory on top of it. It's a freaking mess down here. Bags for the reel and consignment that I've ignored for several months. These bins right here are going to be put on 2 shelves. So I'm doing 2 more shelves over here. So between the 2 shelving units that you saw here, and then the 1 unit that I'm getting from the Container Store, that ought to do it for all of my storage supplies. My inventory hasn't changed by more than 100 units in about a year. So I've been between like 1150 and 1280 I'm at right now. So a little more than 100, but I think I've leveled off at this space, and now it's just time to, oh my gosh, press that reset button. So a good before, so we can appreciate how far I've come by the end of all of this. Okay, inventory move update. I ended up getting this very large rolling rack. You had to buy the wheels separately at the Container Store. So I picked this up, and my boys, Rocco and Jay, assembled it for me yesterday. So goal for today, moving it from there over to here, moving my desk probably over here, clearing off all that junk, and then all the boots from underneath and all of these shoes that are scattered everywhere. I'm going to put them in USPS shoe boxes and stack them up. This is just such great space here. I'm so excited, but I gotta roll it over here first. All right, I'm not crazy about how it looks, but it's functional. It comes over, you know, a few inches here, like my wall ends here, but this comes out a little bit. Just everything's feeling super crowded right now. Maybe I won't even keep it in here. I don't know, gotta think about it, but man, this storage is going to be so good. I need to work on a vibe here because right now there is no vibe. All right. I'd like to go through the process of what I do when I enter something into a tote. So I want to take a moment to show you how I actually enter items into a bin. So this bin already exists, but I'm going to go through the motions and show you how to start a new bin. So you can come over and I'm just going to scan this bin. And I'm going to give it the title of H. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it a sweater bin. You can call it anything. You can give it any sort of title that you want. What I love about this is that you can also choose custom locations. So I called this area my studio. So this is bin H in my studio. So that tells me exactly where the bin is located. And then you're going to take a picture of your item. So bam. I take that picture. Now you're going to enter some keywords. So this is a Boston cropped, I called it a hoodie, but it was actually a crew neck. And then I'll also usually include the size and the color just to give myself more keywords so it's easy to access at a later time. And then it shows up. So now I'm going to add one more thing. And this time I am going to add a picture like this. You can also use a picture that's already on your photo roll. So you have the option to use a photo or take a photo. This is a Victoria's Secret tie-dye hoodie. I wrote VS. You just have to remember what you're using as your descriptive words in order to retrieve it. But say I couldn't retrieve it by VS, I could look it up by tie-dye, by hoodie. So you will just repeat that process over and over. You take a picture of the item that you're going to put in your bin, you write in some keywords, and then you put it inside that bin. You want to remember to include as many keywords as possible. So in that particular example, I did a VS instead of spelling out Victoria's Secret. When I go in to retrieve it, if I don't have the right word, it won't show up. But say, for example, I wrote VS and I kept writing Victoria's Secret, and it wasn't popping up. I could also use the keyword tie-dye. I could also just write the word hoodie. I could do purple hoodie. I could do the size. So you just want to include as many keywords as you can so that when you go to retrieve an item, it will pop up. When I go in and type the keyword VS or Victoria's Secret, anything that I have scanned that has that as a title will pop up. And then I can go one by one and eliminate other items until I find the item that I'm looking for. Let's take that first sweatshirt as another example. If I go downstairs and I'm just pulling inventory and I go into my app and I type the word Boston, anything that has the word Boston in it will appear. And then from there, I can go to my next thing. So say I also scanned a Boston Red Sox t-shirt, and that is in the other part of my basement, which I have given a different title to. It will pop up, but immediately I'm going to know the location of anything that has the word Boston listed. So whether it's in the studio, if it's up against the studio mirror, if it's in the IKEA bins. So in some cases, if I put that keyword in, maybe 4 pictures pop up, maybe 5 pictures pop up, maybe just 1 pops up, but I look at the images and then I can eliminate the other ones and say, oh, that's the item I'm looking for. So I usually like to take a picture of the item. If there's a graphic, I try to get the graphic, any identifying thing. It's more tricky when I'm taking photos of, say, like black items. I want to make sure I get the label and then really give some good descriptive words in that title so that when I go to retrieve it, it pops up right away. Now let's pretend we just sold something, and we'll go into my inventory and we'll retrieve an item. So you just saw how I enter something. Now let's show how you can pull it from your inventory. So I'm going to use a brand that I have a lot of in my inventory, and that is Free People. So you're going to see when I type in Free People into my ToteScan app, a lot of things will pop up. And I just want to show you the process and how I narrow things down to find a particular item. I know I have a thermal top, a thermal Free People item. So let's just go in and we're going to see how I can get to that item. It's always easier for me to explain things in a visual way. So you click on the ToteScan app. These are all the different bins that I have in the different areas. I'm just going to type in Free People. And now you're going to see all the different Free People items that I have. These are all the Free People items I have in my inventory. And those gray bars are kind of separating the inventory into the different locations that I've assigned them. Next, I am just going to type in thermal because I'm trying to be specific here. And just one item pops up. So this is a red thermal shirt from Free People that I have in my inventory, and it's that simple. Next, I'm looking for a dress. So I just put in Free People dress and 2 items pop up. And I can look at the picture and see which one I want. My husband helped me with this inventory, so he didn't add keywords. So I'm just going to go in here and add purple floral dress. Typically, I'd like to add the size as well, but that should be enough descriptive words to pop up. And same here. He just put Free People dress. If I were doing this, I would add, you know, orange dress, high neck, keywords like that along with the size, but you get the idea. Once you've sold an item and you want to remove it from your inventory, you just go onto the screen and click that red trash in the bottom right hand corner, and it will remove it from your inventory. I hope that was helpful. I did want to show you a couple different ways that you can find an item as you are looking for it after you sell one. And then you just press that trash button and then it's gone from your inventory. I just want to talk for a second about some of the downsides to this system. One is the fact that if you don't enter a keyword that you can retrieve easily, it can be hard to find your item. So for example, we can go back to that Victoria's Secret. If I didn't think to do VS or say FP for Free People, and I kept typing it in over and over, and I couldn't retrieve it because my spelling was wrong, that's kind of a little bit of a flaw in the system, which is why I like to use a lot of keywords. If I include the brand, a size, the category, you know, if it's shirt or jeans or sweater or a top, but even a top can be difficult because sometimes I'll call a top a blouse, or it can be a tunic, or I'll call it a top or a shirt. You should figure out what word you want to use when you're entering things into your QR system, just so that you're consistent. Always include patterns, like I'll include things like stripes or floral or thermal or button down, things like that, that I can identify it further. Usually if you have the brand, the style, if there's a pattern and the size and a picture, you should be able to find it. But you do want to make sure that you're entering the right words so that you can retrieve it. Another thing is there may be a way to move an item, but I haven't figured out how to move an item. So say for example, I scan a dress and I put it in a bin, and then I say, oh, I don't want it in that bin. I want to move it to bin, from bin D to bin A. I haven't figured out a way to just go in, take the item and say move to bin A. What I've been doing is physically having to take a new picture, deleting that listing and re-entering it. If you're familiar with the system and you know of a way to move an item without deleting it, let me know, because I feel like there has to be a way. One of the real pros of this QR system is there's no fee. A lot of these storage systems, when you're using their cloud space, they'll charge you a fee per month just for their cloud storage. There is no fee right now, which makes me a little weary. I wonder if they'll roll out a fee later. The app is free, and then there is no fee for the storage. So you really are just paying for the labels, and then you can run with it. I am going to bring you downstairs and show you what things look like now, and just let you know how much better my inventory system is working for me. So this is what my current inventory system is looking like. This side of the room looks pretty similar. I still have mostly all sweaters over here to my left, and in front of me, I do still have things itemized according to category. I just kept them in the bins as they were. But one of the things that I did do was I really thinned them out. When I got my new storage systems, I didn't want these overflowing. I did have between like 20 and 30 items in each bin, and everything was just bursting at the seams. All right, I'm very excited to show you this side because you saw how crazy of a mess it was before. And now it is in such beautiful condition. I ended up taking that black rack, which I had originally put over here in the corner, and it was bumping out a little bit, and I put it right here, which is where my Amazon box used to be. What was happening with my desk was that I was just using it for a dumping spot. I was never sitting at the desk. I would always throw inventory over here. So I decided to just not use my desk anymore as a traditional desk. I do have some supplies in the drawer there, but now I just have my photo box on here. I was able to remove the table from over here, and I put it over here with some of my supplies. I have my Doc Martin Wonder Balsam if I need it, baby wipes. I don't go anywhere without baby wipes, some paper towels over there. So this is like my little workstation. And then I have a chair here, and of course my photo box. And this is where my assistant Caitlin likes to sit. So she just kind of sits over here. She has her workspace to the left of the photo box, and then everything over here is nice and sorted. So this is what's crazy to me. I think you saw what my rack looked like. This is all empty. I think only 4 of those items haven't been photographed. The rest of the things we still need to inventory. My shoe system is something that I have been dying for. Shoes are something I can't seem to get under control, but I didn't want to stack all the boxes on top of each other because I just didn't want them to be too weighted. So I wanted something that had some shelves. This is from the Container Store. I wanted a shelving system that was wide and also high to the ceiling so that I could fit as many shoes in here as possible. The Intermetro system from the Container Store. I think this shelf was about $150, but it comes with these little hooks. So I was able to put my ToteScan label right here. So when I scan this, all of the shoes that are on that shelf will correspond with this label. I've done that on every level. If you look over to the side there, there's 1 label, 2 label, and then the bottom label. So when it comes to my wall of shoes here, whatever doesn't fit in the boxes, I have on that bottom shelf that are just put in the tubs. To the right, that tub is full of boots. To the left, that tub is full of heels in general. And then as I sell something up here, I pull the shoes out, and then I take something from the bottom and I filter it in and scan it. I could use the space on the bottom to stack more of the USPS shoe boxes, but it wouldn't be enough boxes for all of the shoes that were there. So this is the system that I'm using until I sell off some of my shoes and I'm able to put them in. Once items are photographed and drafted, they go into this bin. I'm trying to package things up immediately so that they don't get lost in a pile. I've removed all laundry baskets from this room because I tend to just use them as piles, and things go in laundry baskets and then it just like becomes part of my death pile. So these I haven't put in plastic yet, but these are all in their bags and they are ready to be inventoried. This is just a very small bin, so it can't get too out of control before we have to put things away in inventory. So that system has really been working for me. And then we can come in here. This little rack is at the bottom of my stairs and it's just ankle boots. The ToteScan is right over here. So I just put it on my wall. Well, that's the only one I put directly on my wall. I figure if the paint chips, it's not like in view as you're coming down the steps. I'm gonna pan out here. Look at this, Jay's pinball machine. Doesn't have any junk on it. Here is my rack of items that are all listed. So I haven't scanned these items in yet, but these are all items that are in my inventory. I was even able to just attach one of the ToteScan QR codes here so I can scan this for all of these items. I have just put these all over my basement and you can add them wherever you need. This is my new wall of storage bins. This is a lifesaver. I moved several things over here. If you look up at the top left, I have 2 empty bins. Oh, and I think this KK is also an empty bin. So I still have a few empty bins that I can grow into. Everything over here has been entered into my QR system with the exception of the bottom row. Those are all purses and I just haven't added those yet. It's been a slow process. Each bin takes between 20 minutes and maybe 30 minutes depending on how many items are in there. Sweater bins don't take as long because there are less things. These are primarily dresses and skirts over here. Everything inside now looks so good. Let me put it out. And I don't have them in any particular order. I did try to go from front to back, but it's not like itemized within. So there's no additional SKU number on my bags. I don't have an inventory sticker on individual items within a bin. Some people do choose to do that, so they'll have like a DD and then like the first dress will be 1 and then DD2, DD3, and they'll go through and do it that way. I chose to just be able to scan this. I'll see that my DD bin has all of these items. These are 2 bins that I'm still going through. Up here, this is my donate bin. It just is just so much cleaner. I have not inventoried my jeans yet. I'm still working on a little system for those, but I did add my QR code to all of these bins from IKEA, and then they have a system. So see the 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then over here, I have A, B, C. The bottom is just like photo albums and stuff, not my inventory. So this bin right here would be bin A1, and then that's the code, bin B1, and that's the code, and so on. Primarily in these bins over here, I have pants and some hard goods. I have a bunch of like Starbucks items. So over here, where I have less traditional totes, I just have these boxes that I put labels on. So really you can use any bin. It doesn't have to be like a plastic storage bin. You can just stick that QR code on any storage unit that you want and then just add your items. This is the best feeling for me to finally have something in place. So I've probably gotten through about 1,000 items and inventoried them, and we probably still have about 300 left. But I've made such progress. I've donated a ton, and it just feels so good to not be overwhelmed with my inventory. So far, so good. I really enjoy shipping now. I'll go downstairs and I just type in my little things and pull them. What a lot of people do when they use SKU systems is they just write down on a piece of paper, you know, the bin that all of the items are. They'll pull the SKU from their listing. I'm basically just pulling it from the app. So it's a little bit different than some people are used to, but I hope you found this video helpful. If I can give any tip to somebody who's new at reselling, it's to figure out an effective and efficient inventory system as soon as possible. This took me so long to get off the ground, and even during the month of Thriftless February, this was my big thing that I wanted to get done, and I actually didn't start it until towards the end of February, and it's taken me this long. I'm filming this on April 17th. It's taken me almost 2 months to actually get this in the works and use it often enough that I could report back and let you know how the system is working for me. So it can be a really time-consuming thing, but it is so worth it. It has been a little bit of an adjustment to actually take my photographs where before I would just plop them into a bin because there was no recording. There was no saying what bin items were going into because I was just putting them in the sweater bin or the shirt bin or the jeans bin. So now it's actually added a step to my process because once I photograph an item, fold it up and put it in the clear bag, I then have to assign it a bin. And so that's an extra step for me. But really, once you get into the rhythm of it, it moves really quickly. And that's why I put that little bin next to my desk. So if I'm not in the zone to actually inventory pieces, at least I'm getting them in their little storage bag and I'm putting them in a small bin so that I can sit down and then just fly through maybe 10 items and assign them to different bins that have space. So as my inventory comes down, instead of replenishing bins based on the item, like instead of only putting sweaters in the sweater bin, as I'm moving forward, when my inventory starts to come down, all I'm going to do is I'm going to look for an available bin and then I'm going to add that item to the available bin. I will say old habits definitely die hard. I still find myself going back to bins like, oh, this is my shirt bin and oh, I'm going to put this with the sweaters, and I've been doing it that way. But I did try with one bin after a haul video. Caitlin was here and I just gave her an empty bin and I said, okay, Caitlin, I just hauled all these items. They're all cleaned. They're all measured. Everything's been done. You just have to fold them, put them in their poly bag, and then put them in this ToteScan bin. We're gonna put everything from the haul in this one bin. So instead of categorizing it by item, I categorized it by a haul. So everything from that particular haul went into that bin, and it honestly kept me up that night. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so weird. There's sweaters, there's pajamas, there's, you know, a bra, random stuff all in one bin. But what happens when you mix things up in a bin, it becomes easier to identify them within the bin. So for example, when I used to do by category and by color, and I had one bin filled with 30 black shirts, that was a complete nightmare. So it's better to mix in colors and categories within a bin to make your retrieval a little bit easier. I hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comments what you do for your inventory system. This isn't perfect. It's working for me right now. There is a chance that moving forward, I will start including a SKU number on my actual listings. But for right now, I'm really loving this system, and it has cut back on time for me by so much, it's unreal. If you enjoyed this video, remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. My friend Hope is going to be here tomorrow. We are so excited to thrift the week away, and it was really important for me to have my inventory system all organized and beautiful, to have a rack that was almost empty because I know we are going hard this week and I didn't want to have company with a messy basement and a messy inventory system. I knew it would stress me out. So I'm very excited to spend this week with Hope. We always have such a fantastic time together. And I hope you enjoyed my inventory system. I will link all of the items that I used below. I think I got my bins at Target and they were 56 quart bins. I have a couple different size totes, so maybe I'll try to find one on Amazon that I can link. And my storage units are from the Home Depot, and then the big black storage unit that I got for my shoes is from the Container Store. If I can't find the links for them, just know that that's where they came from, and you can do a little bit of research on your own, but I'll try to link as much as possible. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back real soon. I love you guys. Thanks so much. Bye.